start with some speeches. By the way, I just saw the cutest kid. He's right over there. That kid is the cutest. He's going to be trouble on the dance floor later. I know it. Look at that guy. I love it. All right, we are going to start, and this is kind of fun. I don't think we've ever done this before. It's going to be the maid of honor and best man speech, but I don't know who's going first. What's going to happen is going to be a live rock, paper, scissors. So, Paige, I swear to God, Paige, Phil, come on down. Let's do this. Let's settle this. You ready for this? All right. Paige, you go first. Here you go.
Thank you. Okay, well, that settles it. I won. Mid-dinner appetizer entertainment. Hi. Hi, everyone. For those who don't know me, for those who haven't seen me in a few years, or for those who don't recognize me because I'm actually dressed up for once, hi, I'm Paige. Hi. Sister of the bride. So, thank you. So I was informed that I had to do a speech tonight. And in said speech, I was encouraged by Megan and Derek to roast Megan and Derek. And you would think that I have loads of embarrassing memories to share about them, having known Megan for all of my 25 years and knowing Derek for the past 8.5 years since they've been dating. Unfortunately, that's not the case. You see, who odd. Unfortunately, that's not the case. You see, with Megan, every single silly or embarrassing memory I have with her brings a smile to my face, or I was there doing something much worse. Like the bowl cut she had as a kid. I had the exact same one. Yeah, thanks, Mom. Or that one time we were playing with marbles. Oh, sorry. We're not gonna talk about that time. Or how sometimes when Megan laughs hard enough, she'll start to wheeze. Like, come on, that's so endearing, and it gets everybody else laughing. Megan, you've been my best friend my entire life. You're someone I can call in a crisis, call and celebrate mini victories with, or call and share a funny story with. I say call because I'm living 4 hours apart from her. I'm so proud of the woman that you've become. You've really grown into such a strong woman in so many ways, and you've created such a wonderful community for yourself. I've said this to you before, Megan, but in so many ways more than one, you are my role model. And for Derek, really, after 8.5 years of knowing him, the only dirt I have on him is that one time last year when I went over to your house and you forgot to flush a toilet. Like, come on, you gotta give me more content. Like, that's not the worst thing. Derek, you've been such an absolute joy to have in our family for 8.5 years. You've been so generous with your time and your skills for my family and neighbors. You've always made time to play with the dogs, Jack and Trixie, and now Charlie and Abby. But what's most important is you honor and respect Megan with the utmost dignity that she deserves. Megan and Derek, you are inspirations for what it is to love each other. You respect each other's differences, like Derek changing the way he gets ready for bed to match Megan's nighttime routine. And you respect each other and you cherish each other, even when you're going in a 1.5 year long house-wide renovation. We're here tonight to celebrate everything that Megan and Derek have been for the past 8.5 years and everything that they will continue to be and create moving forward. Happy wedding, Megan and Derek.
Good evening, everyone. Everyone having a good time? So, for those who don't know me, my name's Phil, and I'm Derek's cousin on the Paquette side of the family. I'd like to give another round of applause to the newlyweds. I would like to thank everyone on behalf of Derek and Megan for coming out to celebrate their special day. As most people do, I'd like to say a few words about the bride and groom. Megan, what can I say about you that most people don't already know? You keep that man in line and keep up the good work. But on a serious note, I want to say what an impact you have on Derek's life. He truly found a great partner in you. In fact, I know he scored the jackpot with you because you share the same birthday with my wife. And well, I know I scored big time. There must be something about women born April 3rd because you are special. You know how to keep Derek's tantrums to a minimum. You're organized, caring, and at times the life of the party. With all this being said, you've been a part of this family for many years, but I want to officially welcome you to the crazy. We all love you and look forward to sharing many adventures and family time together. Derek, what to say about you? Our bond started as children when we used to go to the college with Grandma and Grandpa. It is there that I think both of us, our interests in the trades began. I think our relationships have grown stronger over the years because of our similar interests and our similar personalities. I can't count how many projects you've helped me with. You're always the one that will always be there to help me with short notice. Your drive and dedication to achieve your goals is inspirational. I mean, look at what you've done with your house. Derek, I want to sincerely thank you for being such a great cousin and always being there to help me with my crazy ideas. Although Grandpa is not here with us today, he would be proud of you and your beautiful wife and everything that you two have accomplished together. I hope you know that. So, as a start your life as husband and wife, my only advice is to enjoy and cherish every single little moment together. These are the moments that you will always look back on together and smile together. And of course, don't forget to laugh. Please join me and raise a glass with the newlyweds. Congratulations.
All right, as mentioned, we are going to get some speeches from the parents. We are going to start with the parents of the groom. Please welcome up to the podium the parents of the groom, ladies and gentlemen. Here they are.
Not as good as Paige and Phil were. I'm going to have to read this because I'm a little bit nervous. Hello, everyone. My name is Julie, and I am the proud mother of the groom. Thank you, everyone, for being here today and celebrating Derek and his beautiful bride, Megan, nuptials. It's my pleasure and honor to welcome my daughter-in-law, Megan, to the family. Derek, as a child, teenager, now a young man, you always had a thought or an idea beyond your age. You set goals for yourself, and you worked hard to achieve them. You were never afraid of challenges. As I watch you grow into the man that you have become, it warms my heart to see you and Megan have come together. Oh, I think I skipped something. As I watch you grow into the man you have become, it warms my heart to see you and Megan have come together facing obstacles and accomplishing them as a couple. While many couples may grow apart as they mature and face life hurdles, it's wonderful to see how you have grown strong together. A great example is how you moved into a home that required much attention and many renovations. As numerous of us know, renovation bring on multiple stumbling blocks, which can put a strain on a relationship. They have turned that house into a beautiful home. Your strength and determination make you the couple you are. Like a wise man has said, aka Pie, if you're going to do it, you better do it right the first time. Derek, you nailed it with Megan. Derek, I am proud, and thank you, Megan, for contributing to his success. Let's raise our glasses to Derek and Megan.
Thank you, Julie. Another round of applause for Julie. And now, Tim, it's all you.
Oh boy. All right, for all you people that don't know me, my name is Tim. I'm a very shy guy, and I hope I can get through this. Tell you, I've been waiting for this for a while. But anyways, just wanted to start off by thanking the people here at Stonefields. The venue is absolutely gorgeous. I got to give a shout out to the bridesmaids. You guys look beautiful tonight. Shout out to the groomsmen, of course. You guys are stud muffins. You look awesome tonight. And of course, my grandson, the ring bearer, when he walked down, little Kyron, he's gone to bed now. And I also want to thank a lot of people for traveling. Not everybody's from the area. People have come from the East Coast. People have come from, a good friend of mine traveling from Rochester, New York. Not everybody's from around here, and thank you. It's a big thing for these people to have people like you guys around here. So thank you. I was contemplating how to do this speech. I really didn't know how to do it, but I sort of had somebody else talking in my mind here saying, how would you describe your son? There's lots of ways I can describe Derek, but I'm just going to give a couple of adjectives, and I think you'll get the point here. The first one that comes to mind in my mind is Derek was a little curious boy. If we could have named Derek after he was 5 years old, we would have called him Curious George, because that's how curious this guy was. Derek is probably the only individual I know to this day, even as a little boy, sitting at the table and reading the ingredients on a ketchup bottle. I don't know what it was, but that's just the way Derek was. He is curious enough, he always followed my father, known as Grandpa, Julie's dad, known as Pie. And he always followed them around whenever he's around them in the shop, doing whatever he had to do, never scared to get his hands dirty. And he's just a curious kid altogether, and that's Derek to this day. He's the only guy I know that reads the instructions when you open up an IKEA box. He takes the inventory. He is the only one that'll never have a part left over. He did not get that from me, trust me. That being said, another adjective that describes Derek is a real handyman with patience. Patience part did not come from me. I'm the kind of guy that can hang a picture on the wall with a piece of bubble gum and it'd stay there. It's good enough for me. Not this guy. He brings up the level, makes sure the stud's in the middle and everything else. Derek is, as Julie already mentioned, he did home renovations. Derek and Megan both did them. House looks phenomenal. He did Jill and Shane's garage. Phenomenal job. Did it by himself. The guy's just a handyman. I can't take credit for that one. Derek is a smart and dedicated individual. And what I mean smart, education-wise. This guy, going through his schooling, he was dedicated to his books. His friends were out partying. Going through high school, his friends were out partying Friday nights. Not this guy. He's reading his books, doing his homework, getting A's. As he's going through school, I remember him coming home and saying, "Hey, Dad." And he goes out on one of those career things that telling you what you want to be in life and experiences and stuff. And he said, "Hey, Dad, I really want to be a carpenter." I thought, well, a guy that likes to use his hands, awesome. Follow your dreams. A couple of days later, "Hey, Dad, I want to be an electrician." Huh. Tomorrow's going to want to be a lawyer. What do we know? This guy here, he's now an electrician, dedicated to the books, and he's very good at what he does, very, very particular. So if you want an electrician, I know one. I remember when Derek was going through his school and we went to award ceremony night. And teacher would get up there and say, you know, give out an award. And Derek Maidman, and Derek would go up on the stage and pick up his award. Derek would get off the stage, come back down and sit beside us. "Congratulations, bud. Dad's so proud of you." Next award, Derek Maidman. And gets back up, grabs the second one, comes back down, and repeats itself. And I remember his sister, Krista, saying, "Jesus Christ, Derek, just grab a seat and stand by the teacher." That's just the way he was, smart and dedicated. When Derek was a little guy, my dream, being a father, I've always wanted my kids, didn't matter, to play a sport. As I grew up as a kid, I played baseball. My mom and dad were there with me all the time. I wanted that too. I kept asking Derek, "Want to play hockey?" No. "Want to play soccer?" No. He had no interest. He just wanted to be a bookworm, I guess. I don't know. Eventually, one day, he decided to play hockey. And I was like, wow, finally I get to take, you know, my role. I wanted to do this. I wanted to be part of it. So got into the coaching, and one thing led to another. His biggest fan was his sister. Didn't matter if it was a game or a practice, tournament, whatever. Krista was there, cheering her brother on. After the games, never had to carry a bag or sticks. Going into the rink, never carried a bag or sticks. She was there for him like we were. And the biggest thing with this guy here was he listened and he respected everybody on the ice. And being the coach, I always told him, "I'm not your dad on the ice, I'm your coach." So he's playing defense, and I said to him, "Derek, use the glass, it's your friend. Use your glass, it's your friend. Dump it out of the corner, dump it out of the corner." So I was reaching around the corner, my head on the ice, and I'm yelling at him, "Dump it off the glass, dump it off the glass." So he did, and he hit me on the side of the face. He came off the ice and said, "Dad, I'm so sorry, but you told me to dump it off the glass." It's okay. I couldn't say anything. Good job, bud. And to this day, playing hockey with him was a little bit harder than what it was when he was this young, when I can skate around him. It's different these days. And I can go on and on and on, but I'm going to end this by this. There's two words here, lucky/fortunate. This started 8.5 years ago. Derek and Corey were going on a double date, and Derek's date was his wife. And lo and behold, for all you people that are not from here, Derek and Corey were wrapping up their evenings with the ladies, and they wanted to escort the ladies, make sure that they were safe. So they decided to take the bus and escort them to their car. So the problem was, where they wanted to go was in the southwest part of Ottawa. But they were on a bus going east. So I instructed them, get off, go on the other side, and one thing led to another. The ladies got home safe, and Corey and Derek showed up at 4:30 in the morning. Well, boy, did it suck for Corey. Corey had to go to work the next morning. They were drinking all night. And I said, "Guess what, bud? You're getting up at 6 o'clock to go to work." Corey got up at 6 o'clock to catch the earliest bus to go to work while Derek slept in. Who lost on that one? And the fortunate part is the O'Neills. These people are salt of the earth. They did a co-ed shower, excuse me, they did a co-ed shower early in July. I think it was June, July, something like that this summer. no hesitation at all, they opened up their house to these two to start this journey to where we are today. Salt to the earth. My brother was ill, and Shane took on the honor of taking care of my brother. Shane also took on the honor of taking care of Pi. And these people are salt to the earth. And so to the O'Neills, I would like to thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure. It's you guys are salty. I can't say enough. Anyways, moving on forward here. Megan. The only way I can describe Megan is respectful, beautiful, kind soul. You're the kind of person that sets him straight, as Phil said earlier, which we all need. You got a heart of gold, and I officially want to welcome you into the Maidment family. Cheers to the both of you. I love you guys. A life of love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the parents of the bride. Yes. Let's welcome Jill, Shane. It's all yours.
I am so happy that everyone is here tonight. And before Tim and Julie sit down again, we would like to ask you up, along with Krista and Derek, because one way we want to welcome you to our family is to perform a traditional screech-in. We couldn't think. We couldn't think of a better way to welcome you to our family than to do this. Now, there's no sipping on the screech yet. I'm going to pass it over to Shane.
Hi, I'm Shane. No, they can't sip it because tonight we are blessed to have with us the most beautiful, friendly, intelligent, smart man from Newfoundland who will screech in these lovely people. And he has received dispensation from the people of Newfoundland to perform it here, and he will explain that later. May I introduce to you David Jameson.
Normally, you must visit Newfoundland to be screeched in. Once the rites are completed to the standard of performance required, then the title of Honorary Newfoundlander will be bestowed upon you. If you mess it up, anything can happen, pleasant or not. So there's a lot of pressure, just so you know. Right? And I got a few big people here to help me out. If you look around, it should be obvious to you that we are not in Newfoundland. Right? Unless you started drinking really early and have lost your ability to reason or your ability to auto-locate. So in the case before us today, provision in the form of special permission is required. So you will be delighted to learn that I spoke to the Newfoundland government and the officials responsible for giving such authorization. After confirming that I had reached the right person, she advised me that she is the head of the Department of Extraterritorial Bestowal of the title of Honorary Newfoundlander on those persons who could come from away for a visit, but didn't. Right? I asked her if that was the official, actual departmental title. She said yes, thus confirming that I had connected a true and proper bureaucrat, possibly educated and trained on the mainland. Right? To complete the process, I had to provide information that would satisfy her nibs. Nibs. People here familiar with the term nibs? Okay, good. All right, good. I mean, I can translate too. You know, I do speak a bit of English, but mostly broken. So I had to satisfy her that the request was legitimate and would satisfy the government's requirements. So her first question to me was, who is being honored? And I said, well, the Maidment family of Greeley, Ontario. She then asked if they were related to the Maidments in Newfoundland. Now, I'm going like, what do I say now? I don't know the Maidments in Newfoundland, and I don't know if they're related or not, but I don't know if she has a liking for the Maidments or not. So now I got to tread really, really careful, because I don't want to offend the missus with power. Because if she doesn't like what I say, then they will not approve me to do this ceremony. So I said, maybe from a long time ago, the Maidments came from Suffolk in England. I think these people might have, so I can't say for sure. Well, she said, okay, well, I'm not sure I like that answer, but she said, all right, who's sponsoring the Maidments? The Maidments, D-A, not the. Yeah, right, the Maidments. And I said, well, that would be the O'Neill family of Greeley. Right? And, I said, and then she asked, well, who are the O'Neills of Greeley? Right? I figured she would know, but she didn't seem to know. I said, geez, boy, you don't know Jill and Shane? Hmm? They are full-blooded Newfoundlanders, one from St. John's and the other from Kippens. I said, she perked right up and she said, Jill, the golfer? Huh? I said, that'd be her. Then she asked, well, who is this Shane fella? And further asked, is he naturally born? I mean, that means something in Newfoundland, to be naturally born. I replied that I couldn't say for sure, but given the size of them now, it is likely that a C-section was involved at birth. Right? I was perplexed by her question and could not figure out how the manner of his birth was of any relevance to the matter at hand. After more grilling, she relented and gave permission for the extraterritorial bestowal of the title of Honorary Newfoundlander, provide the full and proper execution of the rites required to confirm such bestowal were conducted. Which brings me to the matter at hand. So, the Maidments are here a bit to my side. So, now, this will require you to step away from your normal understanding of English just a little bit. And I may or may not give you an opportunity to practice. It'll all depend on the group. Now, I understand that there's a few Newfoundlanders in the group, and if you wouldn't mind putting your hand up, just so we can get a sense of that, because you might need the help. Because they may struggle a little bit with this. So, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you want to be a Newfoundlander? That's not the answer. No.
Yes, boy.
Yes, boy is the right answer. Now, do you want to be a Newfoundlander? Yes, boy. Yes, boy. No, you got to put a little energy into it. Yes, boy. Yes, boy. Yes, boy. Where's Kyle? Where's Kyle? Explain. Yes, boy. Yes, boy. Right? So you got to put your back into it. You got to say, yes, boy. Yes, go with it. Yeah. Well, the first part of that is a mainland interpretation. The yes boy is the proper thing. So now remember this is serious stuff. Because if you know anything about the history of Newfoundland, and the number one thing you need to understand is in April 1st, 1949, Canada joined Newfoundland. Right? That's the first thing you need to know. The second thing is that in 1497, a guy named John Cabot, who was really Giovanni Caboto, but because he was working for the British, he took the name John Cabot. He came to Newfoundland and discovered the place. So he says. But there's nobody around to verify it. So anyway, so 37 years later, this guy, French guy, Jacques Cartier, goes up the St. Lawrence River after coming to the west coast of Newfoundland, and he's claiming to claim some of the territories up there, except the true story is that Cartier had to stop in Newfoundland along the way for provisioning, got into a lot of heavy drinking with the locals, and lost his way and had to ask for directions. So that's a very important thing to know about Newfoundland history as well. 80 years later, Samuel de Champlain, same thing, lost out in the middle of the Atlantic, not having a clue where to go. happened to bump into Newfoundland on his way. Same thing, ends up in St. John's in the pubs, drinking, carrying on. There for 4 months. Also had to ask for directions. So one thing you had to remember, when you become an honorary Newfoundlander, it's really important that you become good at giving directions. Okay? When we get into this, so it's really important that you be committed to this process. Right? So we got to stay with that. So my first question then is ye a Newfoundlander? And the correct response is, deed I is. Deed I is. You're going to have to say this on your own. Deed I is, me old cock, and long may your big jib draw. On. Let's give it a go again. Are you a Newfoundlander? Deed I is, me old cock, long may your big jib draw. Anybody here can help these folks? I mean, they're pathetic. My God, they're awful. Let's start again. I'm going to ask you, is he a Newfoundlander? Oh, yeah, he's doing good. Deed I is me old cock. Now, you know what that means, eh? Yes, I am, my friend. That's right. Exactly right. And long may your big jib draw. No, and may long live your... And long may your big jib draw. No. And may long live your big jib draw. Are we noticing a pattern here? Derek is trying really hard. The rest are kind of going like, yeah, they're not much help at all, are they? Huh? Nothing. So okay, I figured this might be a problem. So here's one for you. One for you. One for. Well, no, listen. You've got to start somewhere. If you can't say it, at least try to read it. One there. And then one there. All right. So we're going to go through this again.
Dita is the old cock, and long may said big jib draw. Merry Mexico.
Are we okay? We're good? Okay. Okay, Krista.
Dita is Neil Talk and long may your big jib draw.
I know you're shy, Tim. I know you're shy. Now, you could have fooled me when you're up there for 15 minutes talking, but I mean, you know. Yeah.
All right. Dita is Mule Cock, and long may your big jib drop.
Good. We're good. Okay. Okay, Julie. Julie is. Well, you appeared more shy than he, even though he claimed he was shy. Yeah, he said he was shy. I think he was trying to fool the crowd. Right? Trying to put us off our milk, you know? No. I know you're the queen of the house. You're in charge and everything when you're there, but you're not with me. All right.
Dita is me old cock, and long may your big jib draw.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's just that part of it. Now, there's another part to the ceremony. Now, ordinarily, this would be a frozen dead cod. Right? Cold as cold can get. I mean, even the iceberg shiver when they see a frozen cod, right? So what you can do is substitute, and I'm allowed to substitute, a puffin. Now, the thing is, you have to kiss the puffin's bottom. Right? And then you have to drop that shot of screech back down your throat and hope you survive. Are you ready? Kiss the puffin's butt. All right, drop her. No nursing this thing either. Right back. There you go. Okay, Krista. All right, Tim. Was that good enough? Excellent. Okay, Julie, go for it. Good job, good job. Now, if anybody was wondering what a puffin sounds like in the wild, that's real. Well, you won't shut up either. All right, so now that we've completed that ceremony, I have for each of you Julie Maidman of Greeley, Ontario, a province up along in Canada. That's the way we would say it. You're up along. I'm a come from away. You're an up along. Has consumed a bountiful taste of Newfoundland's finest rum and has satisfactorily performed the ceremonial rites associated herein. In witness of all present here, we now bestow the great privilege of naming Julie a proud honorary Newfoundlander on this October 22nd in the year 2022. Okay, this is to certify that Krista Maidman of Greeley, Ontario, and province up along in Canada, has consumed a bountiful taste of Newfoundland's finest rum and has satisfactorily performed the ceremonial rites associated herein. In witness of all present here, we now bestow the great privilege of naming Krista a proud honorary Newfoundlander on this October 22nd in the year 2022. I should point out, this is by order of the Royal and Ancient Order of Newfoundland Screechers, by the way. This is very official. Yeah. This is to certify that Derek, I'll hold the mic for you in this case, of Greeley, Ontario, province up along in Canada, has consumed a bountiful taste of Newfoundland's finest rum and has satisfactorily performed the ceremonial rites associated herein. In witness of all present here, we now bestow the great privilege of naming Derek a proud honorary Newfoundlander on this October 22nd of the year 2022. And finally, Tim. This is to certify that Tim Maidman, possibly related to the Maidmans in Newfoundland, although I'm a bit reluctant to make any comment about them because she thought they were a bit of a streel or some other thing like skeets maybe, and I didn't know if that was the right thing to talk about here. But since you're a man, you can take it. I'll talk about it. A province up along Canada has consumed a bountiful taste of Newfoundland's finest rum and satisfactorily performed the ceremonial rites associated herein. In witness of all present here, we now bestow the great privilege of naming Tim Maidman a proud honorary Newfoundlander on this October 22nd in the year 2022. Thanks very much. Congratulations to you all and welcome to the O'Neill family.
I'm Jill, mother of the beautiful bride. We're so happy that you're all here with us tonight. What a day it's been after 8.5 years. Now it's time to try to capture a lifetime of memories. You heard that Megan was born in April of 1994, and when she arrived, we returned back to the hospital room after I'd given birth. We're not going to go all the way back there, but it was a lot of fun. And our family was waiting in the hospital room, all excited to see her and hold her. And we heard a little bit about this today from the officiant. But after my mom, Daphne, granddad, William, Bill, was the second to hold her. In his blue hospital gown, all garbed out to protect the little baby, Megan, and filled with pride and with a tear in his eye, his very first words to her were, "You're so beautiful. I only hope to be at your wedding one day." So how lucky are we to have our parents here, Megan's grandparents? And as Megan got older, she heard this story from time and time again. and she was doing sewing lessons with Danielle. And she said to Danielle, "I'd like to make my granddad a suit." Now, I don't know what that suit would have turned out like, but granddad, like the rest of them tonight, are in a rented tux from Moore's. But I know seeing them walk down that aisle today, granddad was beaming with pride, and Megan's heart was full, along with her father's. So Megan's grandparents, Nana Granddad, Grammy, who's in Newfoundland, unable to be here today, and Papa Nick, who's since passed, have been integral parts of our lives. Despite the distance from Newfoundland and the 20 plus years that we've lived here, we've traveled and they have traveled to see the grandparents or grandchildren 3 to 4 times a year. And just as we witness, there's something special about Newfoundland and Newfoundlanders. We've not met Kyle yet, but we'll be introduced later, I'm sure. And it was important for Shane and I that the girls knew where they came from and that they knew their family. So to see them walking down the aisle today and to see family from Newfoundland means a lot. So I have a philosophy on parenting. For those of you who have parented or grandparented, you've been through the ringer once or twice. And for those of you yet to go there, I believe there are 4 stages. The first of which is nurturing. That's when a baby is born. I saw little Kyron here tonight. I know that there are a couple of Megan's friends who are expecting. You've got all this anticipation, but when the baby is born, they're completely reliant on you, completely dependent to feed them, change them, clean them, love them, create the bond. That's stage number 1. The parenting stage starts pretty quickly, teaching the child right from wrong, black and white, where the lines are, what's hot and what's cold, and forming values in the early years of parenting that you hope they'll maintain through life. Leading to the next phase of coaching. The guardrails are still there, but it's time for them to test things on their own. Maybe they go outside the lines, make mistakes, they grow, and they grow up. Well, being a parent never truly ends. If you're there for the support, celebration, and love, then the lifelong fourth stage is friendship. Friendship is your reward for creating a lifetime of memories, and I really value the relationship I have with my daughters and my best friends, Megan and Paige. So we heard earlier tonight that for Megan and Derek, it all started with a blind date. I won't go through that. We did hear the story about the gone wrong bus trip out to Orleans and back. I will say Megan slept over at Gabby's house that night. So we didn't know what time she got home.
She did sleep over at Gabby's house.
There you go, Paige. After a couple of dates, Derek popped the question, we're told, "Will you go out with me?" And for Megan, ever pragmatic, replying, "You do realize I'm going back to school in Halifax in August." It's so Megan. Much like moving Derek's hair on his forehead. From that summer and beginning at that, they started a 2-year long-distance relationship. And we knew that if they could go through that, then they were pretty solid, and the relationship grew. With Megan being away, Shane and I really didn't know Derek so well. So that Christmas was coming upon us. 6 months into their relationship, they'd seen each other through the summer, I think a long weekend in October. We said, "Come to Christmas, come to Florida with us." Derek said, "I've never been away." And Julie said, "You gotta go. It's once in a lifetime." I mean, it's with the O'Neills. We heard about how much fun we were earlier, so. We invited Derek to join us in Florida, and 6 years later, he came back to Florida, got down on one knee in front of my parents and our family, and proposed to Megan. That was gutsy. So for Derek, to Julie and Tim, What a beautiful boy you've raised. Derek is a good man and a perfect partner for Megan. They really do balance each other well. So I describe Derek as authentic and loyal. He's the real deal. What you see is what you get. Respectful and family-oriented. Asking Shane's permission to marry Megan. And this week, visiting his grandmother at her home, who couldn't be here tonight, and his grandfather at his gravesite to celebrate this special time in his life with those that he loves. Generous, the first to jump. We heard Tim talk about this, to help everybody. And Phil, if it's a home project, detailing a car, he'll jump right in. He's the go-to guy for friends, cousins, and family, and whoever else we can pimp him out to. If you need anything built, fixed, or wired, Derek is your man. Hardworking and resourceful. I suspect you learned some of that following your grandfathers around as a child. If he doesn't know something, he'll talk to a colleague. I met Louis briefly earlier, and we've heard your name over the dinner table so many times I can't count, so it's nice to meet you tonight. He'll MacGyver it, or he'll find someone on YouTube and just figure it out himself. Personally, I think you need to create your own YouTube channel. Caring and considerate, he's the master of surprise. Derek's surprises revolve around Megan. If he's not trying to play a joke or pull one over on her, he's making her guess. Christmas Day surprise to Cuba, finishing a landscaping project while Megan was out of town, just to see her reaction when she arrived at home, or surprising Megan with flowers simply just because. We see the love you have for our daughter runs deep, and for that, we're grateful. So Derek, today we've gained a son who loves our daughter very deeply and adds so much to our family. We couldn't ask for a better man than you, and we love you. Megan, this is what the tissue's for. So writing this speech has been a true time of reflection for me, and I think for all, the three other parents here tonight. Really taking time to pause and stop just to recognize how incredible you are. Confident, smart, loyal, stubborn, resilient, organized. Derek might use a pencil and paper. Megan's got Excel figured out to the nth degree. Creative, imaginative, and a great sister and friend to the bridesmaids and other friends that aren't here today. From the little girl cutting your hair only to try to tape it back on when you didn't like it. Lining up teddy bears, prepping for diapers complete with Vaseline and Penitent cream. Going through the phase of wearing the same undershirt every day for 6 months. It was all we could do to throw it in the washer while you were getting cleaned up in the tub. Who knew what a clean freak you'd become? Bordering on germaphobe, but reading books upon books upon books. You love to read. Bolting to your bedroom on Christmas Eve as a 3-year-old, seeing Santa's lights in the sky. You couldn't get up there quick enough. Trying so hard to fall asleep before Santa arrived, your eyelids were flickering. Catching fireflies and frogs. I don't know where Shaylee and Kira are, but you would remember that too. And as you got older, your taste and preferences shifted. From Disney princesses to Say Yes to the Dress, Marie Kondo, and TikTok. From shopping at Claire's for charm bracelets, shopping at Hollister, Aeropostale, to Sephora, Home Depot, Lowe's, and of course Amazon. From the short bob-style cuts, I apologize to the girls. I didn't cut them, but they were, in retrospect, not too attractive.
Good memories.
Headbands and ponytails with sports wrap to the ever-stylish, beautiful locks you have today. From flexing your sales and entrepreneurial muscles with Scentsy and expanding your home decor experience, contractor and automotive speak, You'll have to tell me what an exhaust manifold does. From playing every sport possible with a preference for soccer, basketball, and now kickboxing, but basketball was always your favorite. And when the player becomes the coach. Megan wasn't always a great basketball player, but she was the hardest working kid on the court. She developed into one with that hard work, desire to be the best, and good coaching. Over the years, she became a force to be reckoned with in the post position, eventually moving beyond her high school and city leagues to be selected on double and triple A regional teams. When her playing days were done, Megan started coaching young girls and applying her life lessons and basketball experience to the next generation of girls. How surreal it is for us as parents to watch from a distance as you see your child grow up and apply the very lessons you've taught her. All of those teaching moments coming together. I was witnessing my daughter shouting plays that she taught in the practice drills, giving directions to 8 and 9 and 10-year-olds, and getting down on one knee to look in the eye of a player to encourage and boost her confidence. And then seeing the reward of that player execute a play, only to look back at Coach Megan with a beaming smile, so confident. How awesome are you? The parents would say how much Coach Megan means to their daughters and positive influence that she's been on them. My daughter had become a role model to those young girls. So as we know, there's no playbook that comes with parenting or with being a mother. But on that April 3rd in 1994, if I could have drawn one up, I would simply say, what a wonderful journey it's been so far. Watching you grow from my little girl into the beautiful bride standing or sitting before us fills my heart. Megan, you continue to inspire and exceed our greatest expectations. As your mom and as your friend, we wish you and Derek a lifetime of happiness, fun adventures, good health, and never-ending love. And as the adage goes, it takes a village to raise a child. So thank you and congratulations to all of you who've played a role in nurturing, parenting, and coaching Megan and Derek. I think we've done a pretty good job, and it will be fun to see where the new journey takes them. A toast to our daughter, Megan, and her husband, Derek. We love you.
Thank you, Julie, Tim, and Jill, for your elegant and beautiful words. Thank you, David, for converting 4 more mainlanders to the Newfoundland gospel. Hi, I'm Shane. There won't be any half-played songs in my speech this evening. No cardboard warnings of inappropriate words, nor references to sex or violence. No explanations on how to conceive a daughter. And certainly no reasons for any of you to leave the room prior to my starting my speech, unless you urgently have to do number 1 or number 2. Please don't let me get in your way, but the toilet paper is really soft on yours. I suppose this means that both myself and Howard Stern have become gentler and less provocative old men as our daughters have grown into women. Derek, you already know how much we love you, and I could spend weeks telling you how proud I am to have you as my son-in-law. Thank you for coming into our lives and sharing your family with us. I still can't believe that I had first met you and Corey many years ago on a Saturday evening at Diane and Henry's, never knowing that I had a future son-in-law coming to my way. I always thought that the hardest working person in the world was the fellow in the mirror brushing his teeth. And then I met you. Derek will have more many more apple ciders together, golf games, evenings on the deck, travels and meals, and what I can continue to tell you privately, what a solid person you are. Happy Saturday, everybody. I'd like to start and end my tribute to Megan in the same fashion, using a common phrase on the brook that is uttered as a hopeful wish, as a metaphor, and as advice to control the controllable, and as a conveyance of familiarity amongst salmon anglers and friends. Everyone, keep a tight line. Thank you for joining us this evening as we celebrate Megan and Derek's incredible day. You are invited here because we love you. And in some fashion, you have positively and beautifully touched our lives. It is a special day for our family, and we are so privileged to host each and every one of you. Please use this evening, if you already haven't, if not on the phone, in person, share with Megan and Derek a smile, an attaboy or an attagirl, a newfie nod, and perhaps a few kind words or a story. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge several special people who, for many reasons, could not attend this evening. Beforehand, I will introduce you to the term honorable mention. And afterwards, please join me in raising a glass to these special persons. I come from a salmon fishing family, and our unifying moment on the brook is the boil-up. A handmade, flat-bottom kettle is boiled on the fire 3 times. And that first cup of tea in the morning is an opportunity to warm up, to update the morning's fishing action, to share a few stories, and to announce honorable mention to fishermen and friends, past and present, sometimes with a little snort of Balvenie Doublewood Scotch, whom we remember fondly. The boil-up is akin to opening gifts on Christmas morning as a time to reflect and regroup, and its significance and staying power have defied the test of our many years on the brook. We learn to have a voice at our boil-ups. Today, I raise my glass, and I hope you raise yours as well, to honorably mention these people who aren't physically able to make it here this evening, but I'm sure they're here in many other different ways. First of all, Derek's grandparents, Raymond Paquette, Bill and Sheila Maidment, and his uncle, Henry Maidment. Jill's brother, Barry Windsor. My parents, Nick and Kathy, and a very good family friend, Bonnie Snook. Now, Bonnie's a doll. Yes, please, raise. Yes, here. Bonnie can't be here to speak to your phone, but she says, Derek and Maidment, they're 2 fine people. I've known both Megan and Paige since they were young, and they're like my own grandchildren. Whatever you tell Derek and Megan, from me, it's true. Time flies. I saw Megan and Derek on Facebook, and they're beautiful. I never knew what it would be like to be a father until Megan entered my life. Conceived over a bottle of Piador, joining our lives on an Easter Sunday evening, Megan immediately began filling our days with joy. I don't know where the time's gone by. Megan, this is your day. You are so beautiful and special. Having you as my daughter is a tremendous happiness. And with ease, as I've repeated so many times in the past, Megan, I love you, and I am so proud of you. Megan, you inspire me. Your independent, strong, caring belief system amazes me. You've always launched your own canoe when others couldn't go beyond ankle deep in the water. You surround yourself with other happy people, and your smile is contagious. You laugh out loud. You are mindful of the good, and you celebrate small victories. You avoid small talk for deeper conversations. You make exercise a priority. You appreciate simple pleasures, and you have cultivated resilience. You are an old soul and a traditionalist. As a father, I only expected that my kids would work hard to conquer their own stepping stones. That they'd say, hello, goodbye, please and thank you, and that they'd hold a door open for others. Megan. You have met and exceeded all those standards, and the world is a better place because of you. The parent of one of your high school friends once shared with me how his daughter felt about you in saying, Megan is a real friend, someone who is dedicated and works hard. Megan, I admire you for your blunt honesty about your own misgivings and those of others, and how you've anticipated and eventually allowed yourself to discard those people in your life who aren't worthy of you, and how confidently you have found companionship in the very people you have advocated for. You have mastered the PFO. I have so many precious memories of Megan. You heeded our warnings about the man in the white van with the puppy dog and the candies. Thank goodness there was no social media back then. Megan, you've always loved dogs, and then goats, and then dogs again. Misty, Maggie, Jack, Trixie, Abby, and Charlie have adored you. When you become a father or a parent, you lose all your shit. You worry. Megan was 3 years old, and I was doing my pediatric rotation, not yet a doctor, still not yet a doctor. And she had this new mole on the top of her head. And my first go-to was, shit, melanoma. Right on the top of the head, right on the anterior fontanelle, that soft spot that we never press on. And I was so worried, I asked Dr. Chuck Hobika, my pediatrician I was working with, to say, could you see my daughter tomorrow? I think she's got melanoma, she's got no sun. So he said, yes, sure, Shane, bring her in. Well, that night, as we bathed Megan, and we washed her head, and we scrubbed that little melanoma away, it was a piece of dirt. So many music memories. Oh, Gwen Stefani's Sweet Escape, where she goes, wee-oo, wee-oo. Megan's asleep in the back car, and she's in her sleep, she's going. We've danced together to the Doobie Brothers' It Keeps You Running, the Bee Gees' Jive Talkin'. I've seen you in our back seat sleeping to Stefan Pizarro's version of Claire de Lune, Hilary Duff, Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, and my most precious memory in St. Armand's, Florida, and there was some really smooth jazz music playing, and Megan had her Oshkosh dress on, and she just twirled around and danced. It was beautiful. With confidence, you shared your stories of ghosts in your apartment in Dartmouth and that special visit with your friends from Dalhousie. You always took care of me. I always told you I would never fall in the brook when I was salmon fishing, and that one day I came up soaking wet, and you were so mad at me, saying, but Dad, you never fall in the brook. Scentsy? Who thought people would buy that stuff? your free throws to put the game in overtime at a basketball tournament in Hamilton, and your shot from the top of the key to send it into double overtime, which your team eventually won. Your elementary grade school teacher placing you next to the noisy air conditioner to encourage you to vocally assert yourself louder. Hair bangs? Riding on the quad runner, hanging out with your grandparents. No one sobbed as deeply as you when you lost your Papa Nick. You asserted yourself well. I came home, you were probably 5 years old, and I came home late from work as I normally do. And you were all at the dinner table, and I explained to Jill that I was seeing a patient late, and you said, "But Daddy, they don't own you. We own you." You're not a follower, you're a silent leader. You're intimidating, Megan. But you're always the assuring big sister. We heard the story recently where Paige and Megan were jumping from the bureau to the bed. And Megan was older and she was far more successful, and Paige tried it and nailed a corner of the bed, and she started to cry. And as a big sister would, she went up to Paige and she says, "Don't worry, Paige. You're not hurt, you're just frightened, so stop crying." My second favorite Beatle was John Lennon. And his depth of poetry and surrealistic song messages made him very quotable. The following is attributable to Lennon, although Charles Schultz of Charlie Brown and actress Goldie Hawn may also own this quote. But it goes kind of like this. When I was 5, my mother always told me happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down, happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment. I told them they didn't understand life. Megan and Derek, congratulations on this amazingly beautiful and memorable day. The next stepping stone of your own journey and happiness together. Thank you for allowing Jill, Paige, and I to be part of that experience. And as we've witnessed over your last 8.5 years together, you've slow cooked, you've planned, nurtured well, all those personal and shared qualities that have allowed you to thrive not only as individuals, but as a couple, as caregivers of Charlie, and with extended family and friends. Oh, the opportunities ahead of you. You have no boundaries. And I leave you with the most important and resonating bit of advice that was imparted upon me as a child many years ago in a camper at Southwestbrook, and again on my own wedding day by my own incredible father. Megan and Derek, keep a tight line. I love you both.
Megan, Derek, come on down.
Good evening. Ooh, good evening, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying the day so far. For those of you who don't know, we're the bride and groom.
And obviously, this is Megan, since she's wearing the nice white dress.
We would like to take this time now to say thank you all for being here today and for joining us on this special occasion. It's been a long time coming, almost 8.5 years from the first time we met, but they do say that good things take time.
Like a fine wine. I'd like to start things off by thanking my parents. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for supporting me, for being there when I needed it. You've taught me in life that amazing things don't come quickly. And that patience is key. Man, you both were right on that, because I found the love of my life. And now I get to bring this amazing girl into our family. To this group of fine-looking men over there, I want to say thank you, groomsmen. Thank you for helping me take the edge off and keeping me grounded during this wedding planning time.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for listening, for motivating, and for your generosity leading up to today. You've been my biggest supports in life growing up, and throughout this process, you've continued to support me and now my husband. Thank you so much, and I love you both tremendously. To this gorgeous group sitting over here, and Chandra over there. My bridesmaids. Having you stand up for me today is something I'll forever be thankful for. Your continued support during this process has meant the world to me. Thank you for everything.
Thank you to our wedding planner, Courtney, for all the help you have put into planning this special day with us. Thank you, Grayloff, for being here and capturing our special moments. You have set the bar for photography and videography. Thank you, Quality Entertainment, for emceeing and DJing today. We can't start dancing later tonight. Thank you, Stonefields, for your fantastic hospitality. And for hosting such a special day. Your organization and hard work has made our wedding an absolute dream.
To my husband. Man, that feels good to say. We've accomplished so much together. We've laughed a lot, cried a little, worked through obstacles, and found each other at the end and the beginning of it all. I couldn't have asked for a better man to walk into my life. I love you, and I can't wait to see where life takes us.
Megan, our special day has finally arrived. I was getting used to calling you my fiance, but now and forever, I get to call you my wife. I can't wait to see what the road will pave and where it will bring us. Thank you, and I love you.
Once again, we'd like to thank you all for being here. Please feel free to leave a message on our audio guest book. We'd love to listen to your stories, memories, and advice that you have for us. After some liquid encouragement, give it a go again, because there's nothing funnier than a drunken voicemail after a great night out. Please eat a lot, drink even more, and dance the night away. Thank you, everyone.